if Mungai, if, listen to me carefully, they do not have a problem with you. They have a problem with themselves. You remind them of their shortcomings. You remind them of their failures. You remind them of their poor choices. Because you, as a 21-year-old, you had figured out life through adversity. You suspended going to school, but you leaned on this other side and you flourished. That is what they have a problem with. Your success reminds them of their failures. Your hard work reminds them of their laziness. Your clarity of mind reminds them of the vagueness of their own fucked up mind. So they are looking for somebody to project to. This is not personal. People are fucked up out here. You never said any of those things. And even the insinuation about they have 500,000, those were not your words. Those were not your words. They were Jacqueline's words. But you are sitting there and letting other people shape that narrative on your behalf. Waongee, wakichoka, watanyamaza. Never. It never works. Because what is at stake here, it's your brand. It's your reputation. It's your image. Because you should care about those three things. I am adding that one because for me, I don't care about any of those things. You see, the arrogance from God. Be sweet and nice with a smile, but nonetheless, pack a powerful punch. Be so ready to slap somebody across their face to send a message that nobody should ever fuck with you. Tell me where you have heard this one. Never let a crisis go to waste. Where have you heard that one? I'll help you. Crisis management. Crisis management. There are PR companies precisely designed to manage crisis. Again, the objective here is not to solve a problem. No. The objective is to manage the crisis. I am saying this after I had a conversation with Trevor. And two things, and I'll handle both of them. It's both the Kibe issue and Eve Mungai issue. Get ahead of the crisis. Let me back up. The antidote of that, the inaction of that is where people say, wacha waongee, wakichoka watanyamaza. No. That is a feminine energy. That is a weakness. That is you pronouncing that you have been defeated. You don't want that. Because these people are going to shape the narrative for you. Now, brings that to the point. Precisely what I'm trying to make. We found out, if you have watched the video, that the issue about Trevor showing his conversation with Kibe was never about Kibe being in his inbox. It was never about that. That conversation was with somebody else who was telling Trevor that Kibe is a bad guy, he has insulted you, I don't know why would you listen to that guy, he hates you. And Trevor was telling the guy, no, me and Kibe, we are cool. Look, we even talk. That was the basis of it. But until now, you did not know that. Somebody else picked up that story and packaged that Trevor was saying Kibe was in his space, or his inbox, asking for money. Now, whose problem is that? Do not put distance between a crisis and response. Respond immediately, respond promptly, respond powerfully. Reclaim your position. Otherwise, some vagabonds who are just listening to a clip are going to reshape that narrative on your behalf, and you're not going to like the results of that. So as soon as that conversation with Trevor and whoever he was talking to was misconstrued, that was the immediate time that somebody should have stepped in there and give the facts. The moment they let distance and time between that misconception and the truth, then the other person shapes the narrative. And now it took 2 months for Trevor to have a conversation with me and tell us how things turned out and how it is transpired. And now we know nothing like that happened. But do you think you can go back to those fuckers who had come up with that narrative and change the narrative? No. It's too much water already under the bridge. Because of your inaction, the other person picks up and they own the narrative and they reshape it to their own whatever agenda or whatever for whatever advantage that they are looking for. You do not want that to ever happen. Now brings us to the issue of Mungai. Again, Trevor came to have a conversation with me and he emphatically said, if you know Mungai, you know she cannot say any of those things. That narrative is being shaped there is fake news. But it has been going on now for 4 days. Probably 5 days. And I'm not saying that's what Mungai is doing. Now, to paraphrase, Mungai is saying, wacha waongee, wakichoka watanyamaza. It never works like that. It never works like that. You have to get ahead of the cut. You have to get ahead of the crisis. Multinational companies have crisis management teams. Most of them are staffed by lawyers because they understand the urgency of getting behind a narrative so that nobody shapes your narrative on your behalf. I have seen so many people go belly up because they put distance, they put time between a misconception and their truth. And now somebody else is shaping the narrative on their behalf. I have seen political careers go to shit. Even remember that music concert where the CEO was with his side chick, the resource manager, and he was hiding like a little boy? What do you think was happening there? What do you think was happening there? He panicked. He panicked. Instead of getting ahead of the game, he let other people carry the narrative. Instead of coming out strongly and owning whatever it was. No, he panicked. He panicked, and by the time he is coming to his senses, the narrative has been shaped on his behalf. This is his company. This is his baby. He created the company from scratch. Amen. They need to come up with a drug to give to men so that men can activate arrogance. Arrogance is from God. But now, that sense of arrogance in a man has been beaten so much, it has been turned into a bad thing. So instead of the guy saying, fuck all of you, who the fuck are you? Who are you to tell me what to do with my life? Who are you to tell you what to do, to tell me what to do with my company that I made with my own hands? No, that arrogance was turned into a bad thing, and now men are hiding under the tables because they are scared of being called out. Call who out? Call who fuck out? Call who out? Not in this life. Not in this life. Not in this life. You do not have that power. You do you, bro. I'll do me. And the moment you try to assign yourself as the guy who is gonna call me out, hey, Genovia, you have just signed on the dotted lines. So the CEO just went hiding. Why? Why? People have been fucking since Adam in the Garden of Eden. What is new here? So, if Mungai, get ahead of the curve. Get ahead of the crisis. Don't let people shape the narrative. Now we know from Trevor, you never said any of those things. And even the insinuation about they have 500,000, those were not your words. Those were not your words. They were Jacqueline's words. But you are sitting there and letting other people shape that narrative on your behalf. Waongee, wakichoka, watanyamaza. Never. It never works. Because what is at stake here, it's your brand. It's your reputation. It's your image. Because you should care about those three things. I am adding that one because for me, I don't care about any of those things. You see, the arrogance from God. But for you, you care about your brand, you care about your reputation, and you care about your image, as you should, because you are a public figure. And the very livelihood is the one at stake by these people who are creating the narrative for you. And Trevor was very smart in explaining that they are making those lies believable because it's the only way for them to punish you. And I have to add, after having tens of thousands of conversations on Twitter with strangers, I have learned something about people. They don't have a problem with you. They have a problem with themselves. If Mungai, if, listen to me carefully, they do not have a problem with you. They have a problem with themselves. You remind them of their shortcomings. You remind them of their failures. You remind them of their poor choices. Because you, as a 21-year-old, you had figured out life through adversity. You suspended going to school, but you leaned on this other side and you flourished. That is what they have a problem with. Because your success reminds them of their failures. Your hard work reminds them of their laziness. Your clarity of mind reminds them of the vagueness of their own fucked up mind. So they are looking for somebody to project to. This is not personal. That's where this is coming from. People are fucked up out here. People are fucked up right here. If your father failed you, instead of you working to be better than your father, you start projecting on the people who remind you of your father's failures. That's how this thing is working. So you are just the embodiment of that which they need to project upon to feel better about their misery. You need to understand that. And then you need to go back and keep winning. You have the formula. Once you have the formula, nobody can tunya you. Nobody can tunya you. Your formula. If you succeed in selling chicken, you can move and start selling milk. You can move and become a dairy farmer. You can go and start importing clothes from China. You can start building houses for other people. It's not what you do. It's that formula in your hands. You can utilize it anywhere. I mean, Andrew Kibe has demonstrated that. Whatever he puts his minds on, he succeeds in it. Because it doesn't matter what it is. It matters that he has the formula for success. Never forget that. Never forget that. Don't let people take your shine away. Don't let people dim your star. Don't give people that leverage. And you know, because you, if Mungai, you are a woman, so I'm not going to tell you to be arrogant. That is for men, because we inherited it from God. It's the only way to serve mankind. I am God and you should worship no other. I will kill you if you ever dare. Arrogance. God is a monster. That's for men. For you, be sweet and nice with a smile, but nonetheless, pack a powerful punch. Be so ready to slap somebody across their face to send a message that nobody should ever fuck with you. They were not there. They were not there when you could not pay school fees to continue with college. They were not there during your shame. That was their last opportunity to ever shame you. They missed that boat. Now you cannot come on my wings and try to weave through the chaff to look for something to shame me. Who are you? Who are you? Where were you when I didn't have anything? Where were you when I had not discovered myself? Where were you when I was struggling? Where were you when I was stomaching? Where were you when I was uncertain of my own journey of life? That was your opportunity. If you had a chance to shame me, it was when I was down then, when I could not afford to continue with school. Now, hey, nitakufinya. nitakufinya. But now, that's for men. So do it, do the woman version of that. Normalize asking people, and who are you again? That. But with a smile, because you are a woman. For me, it's like, who the fuck are you? Where were you when I was hiding under the shadows for 11 years? Without papers, expired driver license, I couldn't renew the license plates on my car. Where were you then to shame me? You think you have a chance now? No, that's the man arrogance. I'm not teaching you that part. But Eve Mungai, don't let fuckers, don't let losers, don't let people who have given up on their own life, on their own journey, on their own discovery, disrupt your own journey, your own discovery. Shut them down. Don't fall into the trap of wataogea wakichoka wanyama. No. Own the narrative and own it powerfully, own it decisively. Stamp the knife. And show them who the boss is. You are the boss lady. Eve Mungai, the formula is in your hands. You are the boss lady. Focus on your power. Focus on your superpowers. The natural ones that the universe gave you, and the ones that you have discovered in your journey of self-actualization. That. So how much ito? Adi mo na.